Well, good to have Terry Skivo with us now. Terry, weekend is here, the sun will be out, we'll have another big crowd expected for the game against Harrogate, and it's exactly where we want to be, in contention for promotion.
Yes, that's right. I mean, listen, we've had a couple of punches on the nose in the last couple of games, but you know, for us to be at home, to be at Plough Lane, and to have a like a sellout with our supporters, you know, the club's not really been in this position for a long time. So for us, we're relishing it. We've picked ourselves up, dusted ourselves down, and we're really positive going into this. You know, it's a tough game against Harrogate, who had a fantastic result in the week. You know, that's put them safe. I know Simon really well, and their team will be big, strong, organised. But for us, it's we've got to give the supporters something to get behind really early, create a good tempo, a good energy about us, and you know, make it a real carnival atmosphere. And you know, as we know, once the lane gets going, it's a real sort of tough place, and it's been a real good place for us. So we're really glad to be back home.
This is where Craig, you and Johnny all built this squad together to be for it, signed the new contract. This is exactly the stage you wanted to be at now, isn't it? Yeah,
well, I think when we envisaged first coming in, this is what we wanted, and I don't think we thought it was going to come any quicker, to be honest with you. But we've had 4 windows now, and we feel like we've got a squad that can compete, not just for the playoffs, but for automatic. We're still aiming for that, and we know we've got to go on a run, but to get a game at the Lane on Saturday, and you know, we're calling to all of our supporters to come, get in early, get in the ground early, and really get behind the team and give us that energy, because we need everybody pulling together in the same direction. And you know, our support's been fantastic this year, but now we're getting to the business end of the season. It's really important that we all come together.
Moving forward, how have we gone about dusting ourselves down and getting on with things since Tuesday night?
Well, the gaffer just comes and says, you know, what we have got to do is we've got to eradicate certain elements which we've worked on. You know, we've got to reassess, we've got to reevaluate, highlight it, but then we've got to move on from it. You know, late goals, it's not really been in our makeup all season, but this is what happens when you get to the business end, and little patterns do arise. But we're very confident in the way that we work, in the group that we've got, that you know, we turn this around and we make sure that we're going into these last remaining games and getting as many points as we can.
If we show the kind of confidence that we did in the recent unbeaten run, and once you said this crowd gets rocking out there as well, we're unbeatable.
Yeah, we are, and that is exactly what we're looking for. And the players want to respond. Every time the gaffers ask for a response, the players give it, and we've had it. And when the crowd asks for a response, we dig in and we go deeper. I mean, that's the Don spirit. So for us, it's exciting, and we've got to make sure that we're on the front foot and we're not negative, and we're really positive around the place, because this is a great football club. It deserves to be where we are, and we've got to make sure that we keep fighting and we keep pushing. And you know, with that support on Saturday, it will be pushing the players further, harder, to be making sure that they get that performance and the result.
And with 6 games to go now, we know the stakes are high. Concentration levels have got to be on it from the first to the very last second in every game, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. And you know, we've been focusing on that, focusing on our starts and our finishes, and making sure that the decisions have got to be a little bit calmer, and we've got to make sure that we stick to the game plan and not go rogue and not go off script. And you know, we've done that for the majority of the season, and that's why we're in the position that we're in. So calm heads. You know, Skip's been really important around the boys, Johno. You know, everybody's been getting into little groups and you know, talking and making sure we communicate, so that our game plan and everything that we're going to come up with on Saturday really does come together. And you know, we're going to give everything for this result on Saturday, and you know, we're really looking forward to it.
But you've been in this position before, Terry. I mean, you've gone from the conference to the championship with Yeovil as a player, as a coach, as an assistant manager. What do you need now at this stage of the season?
I think we just need calm heads. You know, we need calm heads. We need a clarity in what we're going to do with the ball and without the ball, which we've nailed down, and just making sure that you know, the staff are around the players are around the players, and that the club, you know, we feel that real good support from within the club, which we've got. Training ground's been fantastic this week. You know, coming in, the lads are all together, having our breakfast and our lunch, parking the previous game, and looking forward to the next game. And you know, when you park a game and you put it to the side and you start looking forward, it gets you excited again. And one thing that the lads are today, as you could see from training, is the lads was on it today. They're excited. They're desperate to get out there and perform in front of the fans for the game tomorrow. And, you know, we're looking forward. You know, we're looking forward with a positivity. And, you know, we just can't wait for the game to start. Just
give me a little bit of insight into your role now as assistant manager, what you do to help Johnny out in this stage as his right-hand man.
Yeah, it's you're more of a sort of a confidant, you know. Me, the gaffer and Dave, and Bezo, we're all in each other's pockets every day. From the time we get in to the time we leave, even getting back on the train together. We spend a lot of time together, and the main thing that I do bring with the gaffer is just, you know, a difference of opinion. I always give him the what ifs. You know, we'll be talking about something, and I'll always give him the opposite, and you know, I play a lot of devil's advocate with him to make sure that we see things from every angle, and we do have a lot of uncomfortable conversations. We fall out on a regular basis. But it's all for the good of the football club, and between us as a staff, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we get ourselves over that line, and the players are on board, as all of the staff are, and we're all pulling in the same direction, you know, and with that support behind us as well, you know, we're gonna go all the way.
We haven't touched too much upon the opposition yet. Harrogate, I mean, forget where they are in the table. They had a really good month last month, only one defeat, and of course they beat Tranmere the other night.
That's right, yeah, and you know, they're really well organised. You know, they'll get the ball forward early. They'll put us under pressure. They'll flood the centre of the pitch, and it's going to be a battle. You know, and we've highlighted that to the players. But as I said, we're ready for everything. So you know, when their strengths do come, we're going to stand up to that. And you know, the Don's trait is that we're going to run, we're going to block, and we're going to tackle, and we're going to fight. And when we do that right, and we do that well, our game comes out. And it's up to us as a staff to make sure that we turn up, we arrive with that, and make sure that we play our way, put our performance in. And if we do that, I think we'll be all right.
Turning to the team news, how's Johno? Is he in contention?
Johno's all right. He's trained today. So you know, Riley has been training as well. You know, he's just come back from being out for a long time, and yeah, it's been good. So we'll wait and see how things react. But yeah, we're hoping that we'll have the normal squad for the game tomorrow. And
we got some footage as well of Sam Hutchinson and Miles Hippolyte doing a bit of work out there. They're not going to be involved tomorrow, but good to see them back out there.
Yeah, they're both out. They're both training. They're both very close. So for us, it's really good because we've got good players coming back. That's going to make our squad stronger, our team stronger, and it's really important for this running.
One last thing I want to ask you about as well, which happened recently, because it was going back to actually your days with Yeovil, and I think we spoke about it recently. A young player at the time got released, comes to you on loan, Dan Byrne, and then what he's achieved recently, a League Cup winner, an England international, worked with you at Yeovil. You must be so pleased for him.
Yeah, I'm really proud because he scored the exact same goal for us in the playoff final that got us to the Championship against Brentford. So he's a great lad. When we played against Newcastle earlier on in the season, I was fortunate enough to get his shirt. And I think Rocket still got it. He's supposed to wash it, and I think he's kept it. But no, it's going to go to my children, I think, that one. But and this is whenever I work with the centre halves here, I always talk about, you know, we've got some fantastic young defenders at this football club. And I always talk about Dan. I talk about Shane Duffy that we've had previously as well, that went on to play in the Premier League from playing at Yeovil. And their qualities were really humble people. They were hard working, down to earth, working class families, and they had a hunger and a desire to succeed, but also to listen to coaches, take on information. And I feel that our defenders have got that as well. And you know, I think it just shows the way that they've been working, that you can use the experience of working with these type of people, and then you can blend that in with how you work with the new set of defenders, and when everything comes together, you get the best out of them. And it also gives you that bit of authenticity to say, you know, that you've worked with proper international defenders. You know, Shane Duffy for Republic of Ireland, and Dan Byrne, obviously, that's just got his first England call up. So for us, it's and for me personally, it's really, really nice to see players that you work with go on in their career, and you know, it's something that gives you that egg to work with the new ones to see how far they can go.
Absolutely, it just goes to show as well, you know, for players that do get released, you know, they can still work their way back up as well, can't they?
Exactly. you know, that was part of my career. I started at Chelsea and ended up at Yeovil. So, and I worked my way up with one club. So it's never over. And I always say this adage to all the players: if you'll never fail, if you never give up, you'll find your level. And we've got a lot of players that can, especially at this football club, and we've had a few in recent years that go on to play at higher levels. And this is a great football club and a great platform for any young football player to be at.
Good stuff, Terry. Thanks for your time.
No problem.